Sure, I'll be the best. So I'll be looking at you next.
I'm doing something.
Oh, you're doing something. There you go.
Yeah, we all saw a lot.
What's that?
A little big, you know.
No, I was in trouble.
There.
That makes you the gaff. The gaffer, the guy that holds the microphone.
I'm the gaffer.
Huh? Oh, okay. See that. Yeah, I think everybody needs to kind of look at that. It's an interesting one. I want you to step out there.
Okay, so basically, this is your rescue plan when you're working on the drag line, okay? So you have numerous anchor points on the drag line. You can attach, in a rescue situation, you can attach to the same anchor point that the individual is hanging from, or create a new one where you have your R500 anchored off on, okay? It doesn't have to have this bracket. We could actually take that entire bracket off right here, unpin it, and then make sure we just connect it right here, okay? Is everybody with me on that? Okay, the key thing is this, in a solid spot to where I'm rescuing the individual, okay? And the other thing, if I can't reach them by reaching down and clipping off on their back D-ring, okay, then I have to have an extension pole like so, rescue pole, to where I can connect the snap hook in an open position. I can extend this out about 16 feet, okay? It's an 8-foot pole here, but it'll telescope out another 8 foot, okay? And all I have to do is, just like I'm down in Chitina, dip, net, and fish, I just got to hook who's ever slipped, tripped, and fell off the drag line, okay? So Jim, go ahead and step out there, turn around. So he's hanging there. All I have to do is make sure I get right there and unhook this. Now I've got him hooked on there, okay? What you have to remember, he's anchored off on this, right? So what I have to do is then I have to wheel him back up slightly. So you see I have the tension on the line, and then I'm going to bring him in. It's a 10-to-1 ratio, so you're only lifting about 20 pounds, okay? So I'm able to bring him back, and then once I can reach down and unhook this, then I can either let him go and he'll descend down to the ground, or he can grab hold of the drag line and climb back up. Okay, well, let's assume worst case scenario. When he fell, he hit his head, knocked himself out, so he's hanging there, right?
The reason we can't disconnect them at the tie-off point on the boom?
Well, you can, either or. You gotta get tension off, but then I don't want this to come back and hit him in the head. You can go like this, but you still run the risk. So either or, but you still gotta get the tension off this line. Okay? But it always depends on where this is anchored off at. Okay? So either or, either mechanism, either direction. And then the other thing, you know, you may be using a self-retracting yo-yo. You know, I'm not sure what other gear you guys are working with. So yeah, so either or, and then this will descend at about 6 feet per about 4 seconds. So you're gonna lower at a very slow speed. If he's conscious, he can land on his feet. If he's unconscious, I want to have somebody down there to catch him and then lower him down to the ground in a safe fashion. Okay? So I mean, it's pretty straightforward, very easy to use, but as long as you have it in place, and then you have the rescue pole where I can hook my coworker, it's a very safe, fashionable rescue. Okay?
You can control the descent just by putting your hand, just
Correct.
by slowing the thing down.
Yep. There's a pigtail here that I can anchor off on. It'll slow the descent as well. So numerous ways to slow that down. Okay. So yeah, so extremely easy. The key thing to remember, pigtail right here. Key thing to remember is when you are anchoring off on the drag line, you need that 5,000-pound anchor point. Okay, the entire drag line is anything you anchor off on up there is pretty solid. On a rescue, as long as the rescue point is either 450 pounds or the same anchor point the individual is hanging from, I can anchor off and attach this, because I'm not going to put any, he's going to fall any further once I have him clipped off. There's no going to be a resting stop. You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys have all seen me do the drop test with the weight, that sudden stop. So in a rescue situation, my goal is to get him down within a safe fashion.
It's rated for 500 pounds?
5,000.
Or 1,000 pounds?
Well, the anchor point.
When I the machine, how much weight can you hang off the rope?
420.
420. So not 2 people probably.
Well, you can do 2 people, but 2 people is about 650. But that's where if I'm happen to be in a horse collar position, I'm lowering him. But essentially, I mean, I can lower one person and another person can go down. So, and the wind energy guys with the wind energy towers we have right up the road here, what they've had in the past in certain situations is the North Sail catches on fire and those crews got to get off of there real quick. So you can literally descend 300 feet in about 15 seconds. So one person can go, the next person can go. So you can get 2 people off there in a very fast fashion. So that's where the design and why these were made in the first place, for the wind energy board.
So as one's going down, the other end's going up, and then you just hook onto it and you can go down with. I mean,
Correct.
yeah. And in the literature, did I remember that you can do that so many times without having it looked at or rebuilt?
It's almost
or something?
like 300 feet of rope. I want to say it's about 2,800 lineal feet. So once it's gone through so many times, then it does need to go back and resurface. But I think you guys bought this 4 or 5 years ago, and it hasn't needed any. You can tell when it has gone through. You'll see the friction. This will go from white to gray and black.
It probably needs to be looked at if it were used in a...
Correct.
You would have to go and make sure it didn't get nicked or dinged or have it is it recertified, or is that something we can do, or Arctic Fire or you, or?
It can send it into Arctic Fire, and then generally it'll go back to the manufacturing plant. I can take a look at it, but generally if you see this, yeah. Golden Valley Electric has half dozen of these for their telecommunication division and some of the pole linemen. and those have gone back for servicing. So. But
So is there a big difference between this model and they don't, as I understand, they don't make this model anymore.
right,
But
well,
they make
R500 is no more. The R550 is the next version, and it's actually a little smaller, less weight.
But it's similar in design and
Same function, same 10 to 1 ratio for lifting, etc. there. Same size rope, everything else is the same.
oh, nice. And then I guess the other one has the 550 has a. Did I see you can put a battery operated
Drill, yeah.
on there if you need to bring somebody up or
Correct.
go down?
Yep.
But this is the hand version.
So if I wanted to do
How are we gonna make it so we know that the welding crew has remembered to take it up there with them? So you don't run all the way up there to try to get them and all the way back down and hunt around the drag line to look for it.
in their SOP or their job site analysis form, whatever they got to fill out for the job, that should be part of their,
Do you have
required.
a stamp? You do JHAs?
Fill out a time card.
So maybe, and maybe it might be more pertinent to have a box or something up the drag line so it's already there.
Right, they come in, instead of a bag, you can have, go ahead and turn around. So you can get it in a Pelican case, and you can have it stored right there in that. And then you can have it go in different directions too. So if I wanted to, I could anchor it off right down at the cab of the drag line, okay? And then run a rope, carabine it off, and down to my fallen coworker. You see what I'm saying? Everybody follow me on that? I was gonna say I can anchor this off right at the base of the cab of the drag line, run a rope up, and then do a carabiner up and redirection the rope, okay?
It doesn't damage the rope running
Nope.
through a carabiner, not a pulley.
Either or.
No.
But again, remember, you're in a rescue action.
Oh, do you have to worry about it getting caught on these?
You could, but
Is this a
if
sharp
as long
edge
as we have it going in the right direction, we're gonna be fine. But again, that's where I'm saying, this connection point, you guys really don't need. You could actually take it off and just use it there, because you have that connection just like I have here, instead of this.
It's going to be about 20 pounds less to carry
Correct.
up the boom.
Yeah. But again, depending on how far the arm is above the ground, will depend on where I need to have this set.
Just 2 sets for it to get on and off. It would be a pretty quick deal if the Allen right through there and drop that.
Correct,
Or to have it nearby that you want to put it back on.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's an idea.
So yeah. So, but like I say, all you need is this, your connection point, anchor point, to where to hold, where you can run the wheel, and then I can either raise up my coworker or release him down. So yeah, either direction.
Is that unit sensitive to cold temperatures?
Everything is tested to -40. ANSI requires that. You'll see ANSI marked on your hard hat, safety glasses, steel-toed boots, everything in between. When we do our testing, everything is manufactured in Red Wing, Minnesota. We have a lab, a 9001 certification lab testing for all that, from harnesses to yo-yos. I even have some gear for the slope tested down to -55.
So even if it's 40 below, that'll work the same as a sunny day.
Pretty much, yes.
Imagine it'd be the rope that would be the...
Right.
Yeah, does the tensile strength of the rope change?
Slower.
I mean, if it got wet and was sitting in the box, I mean, potentially, but in a rescue situation, it's coming from the cab of the drag line going out, you know, worst case scenario, weather-wise, yeah.
I guess it would make the most sense to me if we kept this system halfway up the boom in a watertight box. So, because I guarantee you, we're never going to want to pack this thing all the way up to boom point every time we
Right.
work on it.
My question, I remember when we talked about this 5-6 years ago, was how often are they getting up there doing welding or repairs or anything?
Not a whole lot lately, but usually it's about twice a year.
Right, so twice a year, and it's like you said, do we want to carry it up minus 40? You know, but again, Healy is like the banana belt. Every time I drive through here in January, there's no snow, it's warm, so no. So yeah, so just depending on what the weather is.
What? I'm sorry, did you say they have a weatherproof case that?
Well, yeah, those Pelican cases, any kind of, if you have anything here that's weatherproof and this will fit in there, then that's fine as well. However you want to store it, yeah, as long as, but again, if it is minus 40 for X number of days, it's sitting outside, this is being affected, this is being affected, and then I'm going up working, it's not warm per se, you know what I mean? So will the gears be working, or do I need to warm it up? So I've always said, just leave it in the cab of the truck, the drag line, it's going to be warm in there. And yeah, if I take this off, I'm carrying gear up anyway. Just carrying this up, the rope is what's going to be the heaviest point. So yeah, one extra trip twice a year, get the youngest kid to do it. Right, yeah, yeah.
You need the exercise anyhow.
I don't.
I won't have to go for so many bike rides.
I'll send you a speed glass, welding mask if that'll help. No.
All right. I can use another one.
I do work for 3M, so I have access.
He'll send you the glass and me the bill.
I already got 2 speed glasses. So.
Okay. So yes, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Does anybody want to just practice with the pole or anything along those lines? I mean, that's the key thing, is setting it up. And it's like I said, set up the drag line right here. You have somebody hang off there, and you just...
It stays rigged. We're not having to like plumb it through. It's just like this.
Right.
In case you don't have to ream it up.
Make sure you have it going the right direction. And yeah, you've got this is your connection point. And like I said, I don't think you guys have a rescue pole.
We just got one.
Oh, we did.
Did we just order it?
Did we order one yet, Colin?
Oh, we got it.
It was other stuff we ordered.
Waiting for you to settle everything out with Matt and Billy and give me a list of what we're supposed to order.
Glad we tried.
Do they still make that for that model?
They still make the rescue pole, yeah.
For that
the snap, the snap hooks. We use this for a variety of things that we do with fall protection. So there's multiple uses for it. For your guys' application here, it's strictly going to be the rescue pole. The snap hooks shapes have not changed, and that's the other thing. Make sure you have 3M DBI Sala snap hooks. A Miller snap hook will not work on there. A Guardian snap hook will not work on there. So,
and these